Welcome, everyone. It's really my pleasure to kick off this special event to honor and recognize our wonderful DOHMH staff. First, I want to sincerely thank the First Lady and Deputy Mayor Hartzog for taking the time to be here today and helping us to express the gratitude and appreciation we all feel for the incredible DOHMH team. At our Distinguished Service Recognition Ceremony earlier this month, I said that our response to the COVID-19 public health emergency exemplifies why ours is the greatest public health department in the country, and arguably the world. I mentioned a few of the small daily miracles that you have all made happen over the course of this year, and certainly over the course of our service to the city for many decades before that. But I keep thinking about more and more of those everyday miracles. So I wanted to share just a few more examples today. First, ServEpi, that's our surveillance and epidemiology branch, for their rapid investigations and all of the data analysis that they've done to inform the entire response. You've heard me say before that data is the lifeblood of our COVID-19 response. I guess that makes ServEpi the bone marrow that provides what is the beating heart of what we need to do on behalf of New Yorkers. Also, our health system support branch, which worked so rapidly and so nimbly to stand up field hospitals earlier this year. The citywide health emergency field operations warehouse team that managed ventilator and PPE management and distribution, and upon whom we'll rely for our vaccination rollout as well. And the Clinical Operations Support Center, call takers that have handled more than 37,000 calls just over the last few months. Throughout the pandemic, the agency has continued to provide critical operations in all 5 boroughs, thanks to the dedication of agency frontline staff and those that they depend on to support them. For example, our clinics, the DOHMH clinics, that continue to provide critical tuberculosis and sexual health services. Vital records, which continued to process birth and death certificates, marking the most important moments for so many of us. Early intervention services, which maintained an on-site presence in all 5 boroughs throughout the pandemic. And the Poison Control Center, which operated without interruption in times of great duress for our fellow New Yorkers. All of the above would not have been possible without on-site support from information technology, health police, finance, and facilities and logistics staff, including transportation, mail delivery, and plant operations. And Madam First Lady, since you're a particular advocate and spokesperson for mental health support, I'd like to also give a special thank you for everyone who has played a role in creating, operating, and volunteering for the numerous internal support systems we've developed at the agency to help one another feel supported and protected. This means so much to me because we have had to lean on each other and rely on one another so that we in turn can be strengthened and supported for the work we're doing on behalf of others. This includes the support groups run by staff in our mental hygiene division, the peer drop-in lines run by our Race to Justice team and counselor volunteers, the physical and mental health wellness opportunities administered by our wellness team. It's been really astonishing to see such tangible, valuable evidence of your commitment and enthusiasm for supporting each other. These contributions are just as essential to our COVID response as those that can be recognized by others outside of the agency. We all feel the strong foundation that they provide, and I'm genuinely grateful. I know that these supports have been especially helpful for those grieving their colleagues at the agency who have passed this year. We knew these colleagues to be not only dedicated public servants, but loving parents, devoted spouses and partners, and loyal and dear friends. The list is too long and reflects, unfortunately too well, the disproportionate toll that COVID and its stresses has taken on communities of color, and in particular on Black women. We miss all of our late colleagues, and we continue to be inspired by them to keep fighting on behalf of others. So let me just end with a warm and sincere thank you. Thank you for having the strength to have done what you've done over the course of this year. And with that, I have the pleasure of introducing Deputy Mayor Melanie Hartzog. Please, I'll pass the baton to you.
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you all on the line who've been working day in and day out to keep New Yorkers safe, informed, and healthy. I know the past few months have not been easy. So much has been asked of this department and each of you in this crisis, while you're all also managing your own personal lives, as the Commissioner said, dealing with tragedies that have happened within, and also, if you're like me, managing and also trying to manage 3 children doing remote learning. Keeping your personal life going while staying committed and being leaders is really challenging, and I appreciate all that you've done. Including every late night, every long shift, they've made a difference. Your work informed important decisions our city continues to make to fight the virus. And I know at the end of the day, that's why we're all in this, because we believe in public service, because we want to keep people safe and healthy, and in one of the most difficult moments in our history, that is exactly what you have done, with grace and determination. Because of your work, we can see the finish line. And I know we're not going to stop until we've educated every New Yorker on the importance of these vaccines, distributed them safely and fairly, and finally put COVID-19 behind us. And I'll try not to get choked up when I say this, but I was honored in the height of the pandemic to work with all of you when I served as a budget director and was pulled into supporting your daily work. And I continue to be in awe of your tireless efforts and very proud to represent this department as the deputy mayor. Thank you for all that you've done this year. And as you take care of New Yorkers, I want to make sure you're taking care of yourselves and your families too. Your health and your mental health matter, and we always have your back. That's why I'm pleased to introduce someone who's led our city's mental health efforts, our First Lady, Charlene McCray.
Thank you, Commissioner Chokshi and Deputy Mayor Hartzog, for your heartfelt words. I actually feel tears in the corners of my eyes. It's an emotional moment for all of us, and I'm so happy that you were able to join us today for a little while. And of course, we would love it to be in person, and I'm a hugger. I would be hugging everybody right now. We can't do that, but I hope you hear us. We wanted to have this time because so much of the weight of this crisis has been put on the Department of Health, and we talk about essential work, and what you've done is clearly essential. New York City would not be standing strong without you. But our nurses, our doctors, and hospital staffs have gotten so much praise as frontline heroes, and they deserve every bit of it. But every one of you is a healthcare hero too. I will always remember what you have done during this crisis. So will the Commissioner and Deputy Mayor and your fellow New Yorkers too. I want today to shout out just a few people who are remarkable examples of stepping up. First, I want to talk about Divine Adika. Divine is a safety and health specialist, and while everyone else at the Department of Health is looking out for New Yorkers, he looks out for his team. He has spent the last months running all over the city, setting up safe COVID-19 testing sites, especially in the hardest hit communities. He's an expert at evaluating PPE for different agencies and sites. He's performed countless trainings all across city government. And as his team says, Divine can always be counted on for his diligence, his passion, and follow-through. Let's give Divine a big round of applause. Next, I want to talk about Kathleen Blaney. Kathleen is a city research specialist who has also stepped up in this crisis as the deputy director of our TRACE program. In the middle of this pandemic, Kathleen built an extraordinary TRACE team, completely from scratch, blanketing the whole city with thousands of brand new contact tracers and helping us fight back this virus. As her team says, Kathleen leads with equal measures of competence, stability, humor, and warmth. She is level-headed when the terrain is rocky. And she is undaunted when challenges are seemingly insurmountable. Let's give Kathleen a round of applause. And to wrap up this moment with a final flourish, I want to praise a group of rock stars. Kimberly Hamroff, Samantha Kraus, Oscar Catano, and Fran Ng. These folks are our site leads at the COVID Express and Quickie Labs at clinics across the city. One of the early challenges in this crisis was that so many New Yorkers didn't have the answers they needed. They were living in the dark. But every day, this group has led the critical testing efforts that so many New Yorkers have come to depend on. Getting people answers within 24 hours and making sure each rapid site is stocked with the supplies it needs to keep going. It is an enormous undertaking. But as their teammates say, this group has maintained an incredible energy and work ethic, and we would not be successful without them. So let's hear it for Kimberly, Samantha, Oscar, and Fran. Those are just a few of the remarkable people with remarkable stories. But every one of you has at least, and I do say, at least one story of a day when it wasn't easy, but you kept going because you knew you might save lives and help our city. Nights have been long and days have been stressful, but you have done so much for New Yorkers. And this holiday season, I want to repeat what the commissioner and the deputy mayor have said. Please take care of yourselves. Try to take the time you need to rest, to relax. And if you need someone to talk to, remember that no matter what time of day or night it is, that there's always a place to call. You can always call 1-888-NYC-WELL for free. Again, anytime. Again, I wish I could give each and every one of you a hug and tell you in person how much your work has been valued. But I hope you feel that we wouldn't be sitting here taking this time to be with you if we did not think that not only is your work essential and impressive and remarkable, but we want to thank you from the heart. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, and have a wonderful holiday season.
No.